Hi everyone, welcome back to Wilde Reads. My name is Dave. Welcome back to another 6 on Sunday. Now I've tweaked 6 on Sunday yet again. This series is constantly being tweaked. For the foreseeable future, 6 on Sunday will be books being released this coming week. So these are all brand new releases that you can buy within the next week. And in this case, in today's video, there are a couple of books that are already out, available to buy right now. The links to buy all these books are available in the show notes right below this video. The first one is a collection of literary short stories. This is by Lionel Shriver, author of We Need to Talk About Kevin, among various other books. She's a brilliant writer. This one is called Property, and as I say, it's a collection of literary short stories. And it says here, this landmark publication, the first collection of stories from a master of the form, expresses the idea of property in both senses of the word, real estate and stuff. These sharp, brilliant, imaginative pieces illustrate how our possessions act as proxies for ourselves, and how tussles over ownership articulate the power dynamics of our relationships. In Shriver's world, we may possess people and objects and places, but in turn, they possess us. In The Chapstick, a middle-aged man subjugated by service to his elderly father discovers that the last place you should finally assert yourself is airport security. In Venom, an artistic Brooklyn couple's purchase of a ramshackle house destroys their once passionate relationships. This immensely readable collection showcases the biting insight that has made Lionel Shriver one of the most acclaimed authors of our time, described by the Sunday Times as a brilliant writer with a strong, clear and strangely seductive voice. So that's Property by Lionel Shriver, published by the Borough Press and out on the 19th of April. The next book we have on the list is Ordinary People by Diana Evans. This is published by Chatto and Windus, and it is out on the 15th of April in hardback. And it says here, South London 2008. Two couples find themselves at a moment of reckoning, on the brink of acceptance or revolution. Melissa has a new baby and doesn't want to let it change her. But in the crooked walls of a narrow Victorian terrace, she begins to disappear. Michael, growing daily more accustomed to his commute, still loves Melissa, but can't quite get close enough to stay faithful. Meanwhile, out in the suburbs, Stephanie is happy with Damien and their 3 children, but the death of Damien's father has thrown him into crisis. Or is it something or someone else? Are they all just in the wrong place? Are there any of them prepared to take the leap? Set against the backdrop of Barack Obama's historic election victory, Ordinary People is an intimate, immersive study of identity and parenthood, sex and grief, friendship and ageing, and the fragile architecture of love. With its distinctive prose and irresistible soundtrack, it is the story of our lives and those moments that threaten to unravel us. So that's Ordinary People, written by Diana Evans, published by Chatto and Windus in hardcover, and it's available right now. The next book I have on the list is published by Fourth Estate. This is called The Party, written by Elizabeth Day. This is available to buy now. It came out on the 5th of April, and this is described as a gripping story of betrayal, privilege and hypocrisy set in the unassailable heart of the British establishment. Martin Gilmore and Ben Fitzmaurice have been best friends for 25 years, since their days together at Burtonbury School. They are an unlikely pair, the scholarship boy with the wrong accent and clothes, and the dazzlingly popular wealthy young aristocrat. But Martin knows no one else can understand the bond that they share, and no one else could have kept Ben's secret for over 2 decades. At Ben's 40th birthday party, the cream of the British establishment gathers in a haze of champagne, drugs and glamour. Among the politicians, the celebrities, the old money and the newly rich, Martin once again feels that pang of not quite belonging. His wife Lucy has her reservations too. There is something unnerving in the air, but Ben wouldn't do anything to damage their friendship, would he? That sounds absolutely brilliant, actually. That's The Party by Elizabeth Day, published by Fourth Estate, and is available to buy right now. The fourth book on the list, the fourth book I have on the list for you is called All Rivers Run Free. This is by Natasha Carthew. It is published by River Run. It's out on the 19th of April in hardback. And it's described as a woman on the edge of the sea finds a girl on the edge of life. Brittle but not yet broken, Le Pendili ekes out a fierce life in a caravan on the coast of Cornwall. In years of living with Bran, her embattled, battering cousin and common-law husband, she's never yet had her own baby. So when she discovers the waif washed up on the shore, she takes the risk and rescues her, and the girl in turn will rescue something in La, bringing back a memory she's lost, giving her the strength to escape and leading her on a journey downriver. It will take her into the fringes of a society she's shunned, collapsed around her own isolation. It will take her through a valley ravaged by floods, in a world not too far from reckoning. It will take her in search of her sister and the dark remembrance of their parting. It will take her, break her, remake her, in the shapes of freedom. Natasha Carthew is a startling new voice from beyond the limits of common urban experience. She tells a tale of marginalisation and motherhood in prose that crashes like waves on rocks, rough, breathless and beautiful. So that's All Rivers Run Free by Natasha Carthew, published by River Run and out on the 19th of April in hardback. The next book I have on the list, this is available to buy right now. It's from Penguin Books. This is called When Light is Like Water. It's by Molly McCluskey. And it says here, Alice, a young American on her travels, arrives in the west of Ireland with no plans and no strong attachments, except to her beloved mother who raised her on her own. She falls in love with an Irishman, marries him and settles down in a place where codes she struggles to crack. And then, in the course of a single hot summer, she embarks on an affair that breaks her marriage and sets her life on a new course. After years of working in war zones around the world and in the immediate aftermath of her mother's death, Alice finds herself back in Ireland and contemplating the forces that led her to put down roots and then tear them up. What drew her to her husband and what pulled her away? Was her husband strangely complicit in the affair? Was she always under surveillance by friends and neighbours who knew more than they let on? When Light is Like Water is at once a gripping story of passion and ambivalence and a profound meditation on the things that matter most. The definition of love, the value of family and the meaning of home. So that's When Light is Like Water by Molly McCluskey, published by Penguin and is available to buy now in paperback. And the last book I've got for you today, this is a fantastic cover. This is called Seas of Snow by Carenza Jennings. This is published by Unbound. Is available to buy right now in paperback. It sounds absolutely brilliant. 1950s England. 5-year-old Gracie Scott lives with her mum and next door's her best friend Billy. An only child, she has never known her dad. When her Uncle Joe moves in, his physical abuse of Gracie's mother starts almost immediately. But when his attentions wander to Gracie, an even more sinister pattern of behaviour begins. As Gracie grows older, she finds solace and liberation in books, poetry, and her enduring friendship with Billy. Together, they escape into the poetic fairy tale worlds of their imagination. But will fairy tales be enough to save Gracie from Uncle Joe's psychopathic behaviour? And how far will it go? Seas of Snow is a haunting, psychological domestic drama that probes the nature and the origins of evil. So that's Seas of Snow, written by Carenza Jennings, published by Unbound, and is available right now in paperback. So that's it. That's the end of another 6 on Sunday. I hope you enjoyed those books. Links to all these books mentioned today you can find in the description notes right below this video. I think I shall only be doing one midweek video next week, which will probably go out on Wednesday. The reason I'm not doing 2 next week, I'm setting up the written blog, and it's taken more time than I actually thought it would. The long-term bloggers make it look really easy, but I've actually found it quite technically difficult to set one up right from scratch. So just a one video for me midweek. Whatever you're doing this week, enjoy your books, and I will see you back probably on Wednesday for another BookTube video. Until then, take care everyone. Bye bye.